Indiana Derby, and it's Shared Sense on the outside, Necker Island, and then it is Erner towards the fence as they got 1 furlong to go, and it's Shared Sense striking the front and has the lead, but Major Fed is surging late on the outside up in the second deep stretch. It's Shared Sense for Godolphin. Shared Sense wins the Indiana Derby. Major Fed second, Necker Island third, and
welcome back to the final Kentucky Derby profile video for individual horses that I will be doing personally on Racing Rundown. My co-host does have a couple more previews ready to be put out there, but this is my last. So we're talking about Necker Island, the horse who has not won a stakes race on this Kentucky Derby trail, but does have 2 in the money finishes, including a 3rd place finish in the Indiana Derby. As with all the other previews, we're going to be talking about his races and what I think his chances are going into this Kentucky Derby. His first start out, which was in August of last year as a 2-year-old, he was beaten by 3 Technique, who has come back and has run some solid races as of late. Second start, he was a winner, broke his maiden at Churchill Downs on 29th of September. Next start after that, won an allowance race. In that race, he beat Wells Bayou, who did come back to win the Louisiana Derby in starts following that. But, aside from that, I see a lot of similarities between Necker Island and Attachment Rate. And I'll get to that as we get through some of the other races that he's running. His next start following the allowance race, which was the last race that he won, was the Swale Stakes, where he was beaten by Mischievous Alex, Chivalry, and Greenlight Go. All of those horses are either stakes winners. All those horses are actually stakes winners. Chivalry, while not a graded stakes winner, is a stakes winner of 2 black types down at Gulfstream earlier in the year, and Mischievous Alex and Greenlight Go, both graded stakes winners. Greenlight Go on the Saratoga Special, Mischievous Alex the Swale Stakes, this race that we're talking about, and the Gotham earlier in the year. And that was actually Necker Island's next start in the Gotham, the first of a few races where he was beaten by Attachment Rate, ultimately was 5th, beaten by Mischievous Alex, the winner. Untitled Attachment Rate, the aforementioned horse, Montauk Traffic 4th, Necker Island was 5th there. Next start following that was in the Unbridled Stakes, again beaten by Dr. Post, Attachment Rate. Americanus was 3rd. He was 4th there. Matt Wynn, again, Attachment Rate finished ahead of him. Attachment Rate 4th, Necker Island 5th. In the Indiana Derby, there was no Attachment Rate there, but he was beaten by Shared Sense and Major Fed. Race following that, Ellis Park Derby beaten 3rd. Attachment Rate was 2nd ahead of him. And that's really the common theme with this horse, is that I see him very similar to the way that I see Attachment Rate. I wasn't super enthusiastic on Attachment Rate, and this is a horse who is running against Attachment Rate and getting beat by Attachment Rate. So I just don't really see a way that he's a strong contender for the Kentucky Derby. I didn't really like Attachment Rate, really. I don't see a way that he fits in, and this horse that is losing to Attachment Rate in races where Attachment Rate isn't even the best horse, in the races that he's losing, and this horse is losing to Attachment Rate. I don't think that Necker Island, there's not really a lot of upside for him for me. I don't see him, in a trifecta or a superfecta. He doesn't come out to me as a horse like that. He just seems to me like a horse that can run well in these races, but is never the best horse and isn't even the second best horse in a lot of these races. He doesn't have a win or a second in a stakes race. He does have the 2 wins where he broke his maiden and an allowance company. But ultimately for me, Necker Island just seems like a horse that is going to run up the track, in the double-digit type finishes. I don't want to, be that harsh on a horse like that, because I am trying to find a lot of upside with most of the horses on here, but I don't really think there's a lot of upside with Necker Island. I think he's just a horse that, in his races where he's losing to a horse who's not even the best horse in the race, who I don't really like too much going into the Kentucky Derby. I don't really like Necker Island. I like Necker Island less than I do Attachment Rate, and I think that that kind of puts him down very low on my list. He's also not won a race this year, but his last 2 races have been in the money finishes. I don't really see a reason why Necker Island would be a horse that I would use, but if you like him for some reason and you want to use him, good luck to you. Again, like I said, don't really have much to say about him, so that's why this is kind of a bit of a shorter preview, but that's what I have to say about Necker Island. I do think that, maybe down the road he'll be able to run better in some of these regional stakes races, but at the moment, not really a lot that I like about Necker Island. So that's it for me on these Kentucky Derby previews. Thank you for tuning into them and listening to all the horses that I have opinions on. We will see you next week for our big Kentucky Derby preview, where we talk about all the horses in depth and go into why we like them and don't like them. Jay Privman will be joining us also later on for Kentucky Derby previews. So that's all looking forward to. Good luck with all your plays for the Kentucky Derby. We will see you later on Racing Rundown. Have a good one.
Irad still trying to get Dr. Post to respond to urging. Saya's all over him with attachment rate, top of the lane. On the far outside attachment rate from between Dr. Post, Americanus digs deep toward the inside. Dr. Post now up for the lead. Attachment rate is second. Let there be no doubt who's best. It's Dr. Post, an even money winner.